physical geography assignment number 6B, you are going to be using Google Earth and its measurement tools to study either the advance or the retreat of a glacier. You can choose any place you'd like to in the world. Of course, there are a lot of Alaska glaciers to look at. I'm going to look at Eklutna Glacier, so that's off limits to you. Many people do Exit Glacier, so it's probably useful to you to do something a little bit different to stand out. But really, you get to choose what you want to do. I'm going to just type Eklutna Glacier in here, or Eklutna Lake rather, and search for it, and it will take me right down there. You are going to be using a tool we haven't used yet in this class, and that is going to be the historical imagery. And that's how we're going to see whether or not recession or advance has taken place for a glacier. In order to use the historical imagery tool, you have to go up to this button, which shows a little clock with an arrow going back in time. And you click on that and it brings up a little bar, a slider bar, that allows us to go back in time to look at what has happened with a glacier. I can go back a few years and you can see things look quite different, further to 2004, etc. I'm going to go all the way to 1996 right now, and you'll see that the images are actually black and white. Now, one thing you're going to notice when you zoom in a little bit is some of the older imagery in particular might be geo-referenced a little bit differently than the other stuff. So when I click back and forth between years, you'll see that there's actually a shift, a spatial shift that's taken place. If you have imagery like that that makes it hard for you to use the tools we're going to use, you can just skip that particular image. I'm actually going to go to the present right now, and rather than tediously have me build little paths on the glacier, I've created some of my own that I'm going to click on. But first, let me show you how I did that. I zoomed down to the terminus or toe of the glacier here, and you can really see where the glacier ends quite clearly in this imagery. There's the bluish color and face of the glacier with stone all around it. I'm going to go to the Path tool and click on Add Path up above, and then you'll probably want to put the date here, and this is actually 2025 I'm going to type in because the imagery down here shows 2025. And then I'm going to go and click a line around the top of or the end of the glacier right here. And after you have done that, that will, of course, automatically appear in your layers in temporary places when you say OK. You can change the style and color of each of the lines. So I'm going to make that sort of a pinkish color so we can see it quite clearly. And you can also, while this dialog window is open, or you can right click on it over here and reopen it, you can actually go in and shift and change the position of the vertices that you're drawing here if you need to. You can also add and subtract them as well. Once I've done that, I can say OK, and it will appear over here. I'm going to delete it though because I already have it, so I'm going to right click on it. That's where you can go to the properties and take a look at it or change it. I'm going to hit delete and get rid of it. I've already created 3 different lines right here, and I'm going to make them appear right here. And then I'm going to use the slider bar to go back in time. The purple line right here shows 2022. The green one shows 2014. I'm going to use the arrow here to go back in time to 2014, and we'll see how well I did in measuring this. It's actually 2012, and you can see I did a fairly good job of getting that line. Back a little further in time to 2004, and you can see it appear right here. I will go back to 1996, I think, so you can see how that strange spatial shift occurs here. Which is probably best not to use. Okay, now let's go back to the current time, and you can get rid of that historical imagery anytime you want to. Let's do a measurement to figure out how much recession has taken place here. And to do measurement, you click on the measurement tool here, and you'll want to be using the path tool, so you get to keep it later. And then you want to place one vertex at the beginning of it, and you can either linearly, in sort of a straight line, go to the toe of the next one, or you can sort of work your way up the path of recession if you'd like to. This shows me that the amount of recession is about 788 meters, or we can take a look at that and see that it's about half a mile that's taken place between 2004 and 2022. Once you are done with this, as before, you can change the way that it looks. So I'm going to say save, and you'll see that this dialog box opens up, and I'm going to call it recession. And I can change the style of that so I can see it a little bit better, and I'll choose that pink color that I had before, and I'll make the width a lot more so we're able to see it. This is what I want you to create. I'm going to show you how to save it in just a little bit. But before I do that, I wanted to show you can also click on that measurement path, and you can go to the Show Elevation Profile, and then it brings up this profile here so you can see how much elevation you have gained or lost, which might be a curiosity, might be something that's worth talking about in the assignment itself. To save all this, click under Temporary Places and then right-click, and I want you to add a folder. And I'm just going to call the folder Eklutna Glacier. Make sure that it is in your temporary places as it is right here, and I'm just going to drag it to the top, and I'm going to place each of these in here. And you can change the order if you'd like to. I'd like my recession down to be at the bottom, and the times progressing from 2004 to 2022. When you've done that, right-click on the entire folder, highlight it and right-click on it, and say Save Place as you've done before. And I'm going to call it Eklutna Glacier. It's going to be a KMZ file, and I'm going to save that. Now, once I have saved that, I should be able to go back here and delete it, and then go and open that file. Let's actually open it someplace else. Go up the glacier a little bit and say File, Open, and I'll open that Eklutna Glacier file, and it will take me right back to where I was. Another thing you can do, of course, if you'd like to, is you can change the view that you're looking at, and that might be a useful thing to do to a glacier so you can sort of see up glacier. Eklutna Glacier's got a really cool gorge that it's a part of. I'm going to now click on my Eklutna Glacier KMZ and go to the properties, and I'm going to go to the view, and I'm going to snapshot that current view. So I'll come back to the same look right here. And I have to resave it, of course. But that's what I want you to do, create this KMZ file, and then I want you to comment on the glacial recession itself and what you've learned about the particular glacier that you're looking at, number one. And then number two, I'd like you to talk a little bit about the utility of these tools that we're using, both the path and the measurement tool, to understand something like glacial recession, especially in the context of satellite imagery as we're looking at it right here. So that's all. Any questions, please let me know.